The new Red Dead Online summer update, which will feature Robberies, is definitely the highlight in terms of news this week, and while the Rockstar Newswire announcing this content was quite brief overall and is only a teaser of what's really in store for us, I think, there's actually additional confirmed information that Rockstar has not mentioned yet, but their parent company Take-Two Interactive went on to announce themselves. And that is what we're here to discuss today on the show, and I think you'll enjoy this one. Once we get into it, is there anything you're particularly interested in that you're going to hear about in this video? How about other personal thoughts you have that we don't cover in this video? Let me know and let's discuss in the comments. But if you enjoy this video today, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on this video, and if you want to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your notifications turned on. So jumping in, the appetizing news we have for the short term before any other new content reveals come out before the DLC actually gets released is what was said about the Robbery update during the Q4 2021 fiscal year end earnings conference for Take-Two Interactive. And the news of Robberies coming out in the summer update in general, which we reported on, was already about 6 hours old by the time this call happened. So what was said in this conference was technically brand new info in relation to Rockstar's announcement in their Tuesday Newswire. And Take-Two said, on May 25th, Red Dead Online will deliver 8 new races spanning iconic locations across the game's 5 states, including standard, open, target, and open target races, and later this summer, fans can look forward to a host of new missions for skilled outlaws involving everything from quick holdups to larger, high-stakes robberies for big rewards. So 2 key things stand out from this statement. 1, June 1st may in fact be an unrealistic target date for the release date, as Take-Two is saying later this summer the update will release, and summer doesn't even start until later in June. So this miniature race update is really just this, what I would say is like a compensation from Rockstar without them really saying it. They're trying to frame it in a way to make it look like it's extra content to hold us over in between, which it certainly is, just not the type of content that I don't think is at the top of anyone's list. But either way, I think we as a player base need to look out for what could be a potentially dry period in between May 25th when we get these new races that come into the game and the time when the summer update featuring all the new Robberies actually gets released. It's really up in the air right now in terms of what Rockstar's plan is. We know we have a mini content update coming on May 25th. Outlaw Pass 5 rewards expire at the end of May, and that hasn't changed. And we have an absolute ton of leaks and intel in regards to role expansions for Trader, Moonshiner, Naturalist, and even Collector and Communal Spaces, which have not been realized yet in game. We also have new Lawman leaks, which we haven't made a video about yet because they're not super major, but they are Lawman leaks at the end of the day, and more. But with this Robbery update being bundled in whatever's on its way in the summer update, it wouldn't really be the summer update if it released in spring, right? So June 1st is still spring, and so unfortunately we may be missing that mark. So are we getting Outlaw Pass 6 on June 1st, and that could either be a full-scale pass or just be a mini pass like the Halloween Outlaw Pass to tide us over until the big summer DLC? I'm not really sure on what's going on there. But what do you think? Nothing is absolutely 100% confirmed until Rockstar Games comes out and says something, but the simple fact that it isn't summer until Sunday, June 20th would suggest that we have to wait until after that date, and potentially even longer if it really is coming out quote-unquote later this summer, as Rockstar said themselves. We know what happened with summer 2019's update as well. That was Frontier Pursuit, so that came out in the final 3 weeks of the summer season. The other key point that stands out to me here is the distinction of quick holdups and what we know about high-stakes robberies. Rockstar loves to embellish their newswire and make everything seem more grand than it usually turns out to be, and with the 2 most recent DLC updates, those being the Naturalist and the Bounty Hunters expansion, a lot of players felt it's more misleading than anything. However, with this distinction of the types of different robberies we see, I think this paints a much better picture of what to expect. In my recent community post, I asked you of what your interpretation of this news was. What did you think about this robbery announcement, and what do you think it meant? Basically, just what do you think these robberies will be? Keep in mind, this was before we got word of multiple different types of robberies that we were getting. Different robberies, not just in their objective, but also in size and scale of the heist itself, too. And at the time of me making this poll, 19,000 votes were cast, and 18% of voters said they think these will be minus honor type stranger missions, farmable, grindable, generic objectives, basically like the OG free roam bounties and stranger missions in the form of just like robbery quests, so always low honor type activities. Then 12% said rich picking style with better pay, obviously more than just robbing a house, but something a little little bit more intense and rewarding than a simple stranger mission where you rob a stagecoach here and there and the mission's over. Then an overwhelming majority of 49% of the 19,000 votes said they think it will be GTA type heists, huge robberies with multiple setup missions, plan out your strategies, form your crew, and finally at the end take down that big score you've been after and run away with the loot. And then 21% they said they think it will be something completely different, which is really cool. Now the good news here is that we may have a healthy mix of everything. The quick holdups could realistically be those minus honor stranger missions, go here, steal from this guy's house, head out to Strawberry and rob that man's stagecoach, etc. And then the high stakes robberies could realistically be anything more exciting and intense than those quick holdups. And honestly, I don't see anything fundamentally wrong with the Rich Pickings Telegram mission besides the payout for the player. We aren't keeping the loot we stole, right? We're just getting paid to steal and retrieve the loot for Josiah. Josiah keeps the loot, we get a little bit of a cut. But these new robberies are for us on our characters. Maybe there will be kickbacks to Guido Martelli for the insider information on the scores to take and the people to rob, but these robberies are our robberies, right? We get to keep the reward, and that's why I personally see the higher stakes robberies being something along the lines of like a Rich Pickings mission, of course with different objectives, and it could be a house, a train, a person, etc. But at the end of the day, it's a mission you do. It could take 10 to 20 minutes, and your pay is what you come back with. And for right now, I think a lot of people actually appreciate that type of content once it releases because it's more of an instant reward. You avoid the drama of needing to matchmake with randoms and do setup after setup and play for hours and hours just to finally get to the finale and have people start disconnecting and leaving, and you need to find new people. Everyone says Red Dead is a more mature game. It has a player base that's older than GTA, and I think that's absolutely true, which means the people playing Red Dead Online are more likely to hold jobs, have families, and are deep in their studies at school. They can't sit around for 8 hours a day playing video games, so they wouldn't like the mission structure that takes hours and hours before you get the reward. But with shorter missions that are still fun, where you can rob someone, make some good money, and it doesn't take too long, that allows for replayability if you have the time, and it still allows for progress if you don't, because it's not a huge time commitment in the first place. But I want to get your thoughts on this as well. If you're the type of player who's expecting something big and grand and super exciting, does smaller stuff still interest you, and vice versa? If you're expecting smaller stuff, would you be excited for larger type content? I personally don't anticipate anything like GTA's big heist because I think Rockstar would make a much bigger fuss about it because they know the demand is so high. But all those heists really are anyway are multiple smaller robberies and other missions that are basically just bundled into one big overall heist where your reward is delayed until the end. You can't just do like the first 2 acts of a setup mission and then leave and get paid, right? Like you get paid once you complete the whole heist for GTA. So as long as there's enough variety with these robberies, I don't see why the disappointment should start flowing just yet. Players have been begging for robberies since the launch of this game, and now we're finally getting them. So let's wait and see what it's all about. But with that said, I think we're going to wrap things up right here. Tomorrow, I have a video coming out on our criminal network contact, Guido Martelli, and some exciting information you may not know about him because he is a character from Red Dead Redemption 2's story mode. And I also saw many comments about how this may be a role. Players won't be able to just do this all for free, and so we will be touching on that as well. We have no confirmation yet of if this is a role, but I think we can all undoubtedly agree that there will be some fee for the player to partake in these robberies. That's how Rockstar monetizes this game, with gold. Whether it's to obtain information from Guido, we'll have to pay gold, or maybe he gets kickbacks from our score. We'll just have to see on that note. But hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks. We'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on there. You can follow me at Hazardous HDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.